Have you ever wondered what it looks like to be a freelance copywriter? I mean, the real life, behind the scenes stuff. Like, if you landed a client today, would you know how to professionally and correctly manage the project from start to finish so that you can do your work without the disorganization, without the mess, and without the unprofessional whoopsie moments? Today I'm going to walk you through the complete process of managing a copywriting project from start to finish. The idea is that you have a step-by-step plan that you can follow, and by the end of this tutorial you'll feel prepared to work with clients, you'll feel super confident, and of course you'll come across as very professional and trustworthy. So let's start off with the first thing you need to do, and that is, in order to write a copy for any client, you need to gather a lot of information, but you don't know what you don't know. It's not just about gathering any information, it's also about the way you do it and how you organize the information. You need to have the client avatar so that you can understand who you're writing for. You also need to be able to distinguish between a good client avatar and a poor excuse for a client avatar. Let me show you two examples, and these actually come from my clients. The first example is a poor excuse for a client avatar. It's clear that the client did zero market research and they're pretty much oblivious to who they're serving. In this case, you have four options. Either you do the research for them, you suggest that they hire someone to do the research, or that they do it themselves, you write the copy but you tell them that it's going to be generic, or you refuse to write due to the lack of information. It's up to you. Personally, I like doing the research and workshops with my clients to help them get clear on their market. But as a beginner, you might not feel comfortable, so just tell your clients what time it is. Now, here's an example of a really good client avatar. These guys did their homework, if you know what I mean. They went into the trenches and learned about the pain points of their audience. They found their most intimate thoughts in a public journal, aka Reddit. I hope you see the difference between the two avatars. Let's assume that the client avatar that you receive is top-notch. The next thing you need is information about the brand as well as the product or the service. So you know who you're writing to, and now you're learning what you're writing about. And here you really want to focus on the benefits and the uniqueness of the product. You also want to get the factual information like the price, the pricing options, the offer, what's included, the timeline for the launch, if that applies, the estimated audience size, and the targets for the campaign. Other things that will come in useful are the branding guidelines and values, an investor pitch, and any press releases. In other words, you should understand what the product is, what it will do for the customer, and how it's different from everything else on the market. You should also understand the values of the brand and their mission, so why they created this product, and you should know all the details about the offer for the product as well as the targets the brand wants to hit with the campaign, but also generally speaking how they want to grow. A really good tip I can give you is to see if the client has any testimonials from clients that are already using the product or any user experience research. So now that you know who you're writing for and you know what you're writing about, it's a good idea to start expanding and broadening your view. You are very zoomed in on the specifics, so we're going to zoom out a little bit and look at what's going on around this product and the audience you're writing for. First of all, what is the sales funnel? This will help you understand the journey the audience takes and how they will reach your piece of copy and where they will go afterwards. You want to understand how customers come in contact with the brand, what kind of marketing are they exposed to, how do they interact with the brand, and what's the plan after they land on your piece of copy. You also want to find out about the competition because this will help you understand what else the customer is exposed to. Do you see how you're broadening your understanding of what is happening for your target audience? Hopefully you see that this will help you relate to them better and write copy that hits their sweet spot. Because after all, it's not about using gimmicky sales techniques. It's all about knowing your audience and how to communicate the benefits that they will receive. Okay, so now you know your client avatar, you know the product, you know the brand, the competition, and you know the sales funnel. This is the perfect moment to go back in time and look at the previous campaigns the business ran and the data they collected. This will show you what works and what doesn't work. It's simple. If you're not an expert in data, don't worry, just ask for it anyway and start familiarizing yourself with using data. You can also ask for reports which summarize the data if you're really against like going into the numbers. Now that you have all the necessary information, you absolutely have to agree the specifics with your client. So a huge part of being a professional freelancer is communication. You need to take responsibility and make sure that all the specifics between you and your client are agreed and noted. Yes, I'm talking about the deadlines, the money, and all that good stuff. First of all, agree the price and the payment method upfront. If you want a deposit, ask for the deposit. If you work on an hourly basis, give an estimate upfront and explain what happens if you go over the hours. If you work on packages, explain what is and what is not included in your package and what additional costs there may be. You also need to talk about the timing. When does your client want the copy to go live, and do you have enough time to complete the work? Make sure you're also taking into consideration the time it might take to implement edits. Look at the calendar with your client and check your schedules. If they want to go live on a Monday and they're busy the weekend before, or you can't hand it in on Friday and expect the edits to do themselves over the weekend. You have to think ahead and take all the moving pieces into consideration. If you don't, someone is bound to be stressed, and it's probably gonna be you. Another important thing you need to agree on is how you want to collaborate and communicate. For example, do you prefer to jump on a quick Zoom call if you need to talk about something? Do you prefer WhatsApp, email, phone calls? What is the best and the most efficient way for both of you to communicate so that the project doesn't get held up? Also, talk about boundaries. Most people don't have a work-life balance, and sometimes they expect the same from you. If you work during certain hours only, tell them. If you don't want to be contacted on your mobile during the weekend, tell them. If you don't tell them, they won't know, and then you end up hating working with them because they're crossing all your boundaries only because you never made them clear. The last thing you need to make clear is how many edits you will do. So the problem with edits is that clients can end up going back and forth with you forever. They'll make a single suggestion, wait for you to change it, then they'll go back and make another suggestion on something else and wait for you to change it. And this becomes a pain in the ass because you want to finalize the project, but they keep going back and forth with you. So don't offer unlimited edits. Offer 2 rounds or 3 rounds and that's it. Then they'll know that they can't just do this back and forth forever, and they'll concentrate all their edits in one go. But of course, your client shouldn't have to catch your grammar mistakes and stuff like that. Edits means changing the idea or angle or whatever, not correcting your spelling mistakes. So if English is not your first language, you might want to add more editing rounds in case this comes up in your copy. Trust me, if you address all of these things, your clients will look at you differently. I had so many clients tell me how impressed they were with my professionalism. At first, they always think I'm just a crazy freelancer that's on the beach all day. But when they start working with me, they're like, okay, she's the real deal. She's not just a freelancer, but an expert, and we respect her and value her more now that we know this. Okay, so you have all the information you need from your client, and now you've also agreed on the specifics for the project. This is a good time to shake on it, so sign a contract with your client and take a deposit. Now let's move on to the middle part of the project where you're working away and creating wonderful copy that will blow your client's socks off. But before we move on, support my channel, so like the video, make sure that you're subscribed, especially if you want more lessons like this one. And if you're watching and paying attention, comment below your favorite color, because why not? Mine is green. Now that you have everything that you need to start working on the project, you're going to sit down and plan ahead for your work. If you're failing to plan, you're planning to fail. No matter how small or big the project is, it's important to take a moment to work out all the details for yourself. This is so that you don't miss anything, you don't make stupid mistakes that could be easily avoided, and so that you can perform to your best ability. Personally, I like to write a to-do list or a milestone list for every project. So it could go like this. Look over the information and brainstorm ideas. Create an outline for the copy. Check in with the client. Write the first draft. Edit with Grammarly and Hemingway. Send off to the client for edits. I will do this while looking at my schedule and at the agreed deadline I have with the client. Each step would have a specific date and time attached to it so that I could make sure I'm on time. Once I have this, I complete each of the steps one by one. Do you see how much easier it is when you are organized with your work? Otherwise, you'd be pretty much in the dark the entire way. Now, to give you some practical tips, I recommend you do all of the things I have included in the to-do list, and I'll explain them to you now. So put aside a few hours to look over all of the information your client gave to you without any interruption. The idea is that you submerge yourself in the vibe of the project. That's the best way I can describe it. When you saturate yourself with the information, the ideas for the copy will come to you naturally. And when you're generating ideas, literally just brainstorm whatever comes to your mind. It could be quotes, could be crazy ideas of what your copy could include. It could be concepts that you want to explain to the audience. Don't filter anything, just get it all out onto a piece of paper or Google Docs, whatever. Then you'll use the ideas to generate a skeleton or an outline for the copy. This is something simple that you can pitch to your client so they know which direction you're heading in. You want to get the go-ahead from your client at this point, because if you don't and you write an entire website or a landing page and then your client tells you that they don't like the way you did it and that they had a different vision for it, well, you're screwed and you're short on time and you're stressed and resentful. So check in with them and say, hey, this is my vision. Let me know how it looks. And if you're happy, I'll go ahead with it. You can present 2 or 3 different angles to your client if you're having a hard time deciding, but don't put too much responsibility on them either. At this point, you might also realize that there's some information missing or you don't understand something about the product, so you have the chance to ask for it before writing the copy. Cool. So now you're ready to actually write the copy. Writing the copy is going to be a piece of cake at this point because you have all the information, you generated ideas based on this information, and you have an outline of the copy ready and approved by your client. So you're basically filling in the blanks now. The copy should write itself at this point. Personally, once I write the first draft, which is super rough because I just let the words and ideas flow, then I like to step away from it for a day and do something else. Then I come back to it and I take notes. You want to ask yourself what is missing, what is unnecessary, and what can be improved. That's the basics of editing. Once you make the big changes, you can repeat the process again. Step away from the copy and come back to it. I promise you that every time you do this, you'll see the copy with fresh eyes and find ways to improve it. But of course, if you're tight on time, you're not going to do this 10 times. After the big changes, you want to run it through Grammarly or some other artificial intelligence that will help you correct the copy and edit it. And now you're basically ready to send the copy to your client. You can do this in a couple of different ways. You can send the copy to your client and ask them to make comments inside the document, or you can jump on a call with them and go through it together, make notes and edits while you're on the call, which tends to be more efficient in terms of communication. Either way is fine, it just depends on how you prefer to communicate and receive feedback. Sometimes I feel that calls are easier because your client's feedback might not always be correct, and it's nice to have an easy way to explain to them why you disagree with their comments and why they might not want to have it done this way. You're literally finalizing the project after that. So you go away, make the edits, then hopefully you're all good to invoice your client, get your money, ask for a testimonial, and to ask them to recommend you to their network. I also like to make a note in my calendar to catch up with the client in like 6 or 8 weeks and ask them about the launch and stuff. It's just networking, and staying in touch helps you build the relationship. So every 2 months or so, you want to reach out to your clients with something. It can be a quick hello, hope you're okay, happy holidays, or whatever. Cool, so I just revealed all the secrets to you. How do you feel? Let me know in the comments below one thing that you learned today. Whatever comes to your mind first, just pop it in the comments below. And while you do that, I'm going to quickly summarize everything for you. Okay, so go to the comments, tell me what you learned, and while you're doing that, listen to me. The first step is collecting all the information about the product, the audience, and the larger market situation. The second step was to agree on the details with your clients. The third step is planning ahead for your work. The fourth step is to get the outline approved by your client. The fifth step is to write the copy and edit it. The sixth step is to send it off to the client and get their feedback. And the final step is to implement the edits and finalize the project. Then optional is to stay in touch with the client every 6 to 8 weeks. Cool. So the next lesson is going to be out next week. I'm going to tell you what things you need to prepare to get started as a freelance copywriter. And in the following lessons, I'll show you how to prepare those things. So make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss out the lessons, obviously. And also, I run live workshops inside my community. So this is your chance to get some practice, ask questions, and interact with other freelancers like you, and to hang out with me. You can join by going to the link in the description of this video. I would love to get to know you and see you inside one of my live workshops. So the link is below. If you want to join, you're more than welcome. And I'll see you next week for the next lesson.